Hello, I am fine, thank you. You've changed your schedule, haven't you?
Kind of. I just added a morning class for me. And is it evening for you then?
Yes, it is 10 p.m. I've
Okay.
never I've never seen you at this time.
No, when I first started, I was teaching like all over at every hour, and then I changed to teaching when I usually do. And this week I saw an opening at this time, and I thought, well, let's try it. So,
Okay,
so
nice to see you again.
yeah, nice to see you. Usually I'm asleep at this time, so. It's at 9 a.m. here, so.
Okay.
Um, Hello, Harold. How are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm great. How about you?
Very good, very good. Remind me, you are from Colombia, right? Harold?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Can you
Oh,
repeat?
okay. Yeah, what country are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Okay, I was right.
Yeah,
um,
yes.
Excellent. So, in Colombia, is it 11 a.m. right now?
Yeah, yeah. 11 a.m.
Excellent, excellent. And hello, Alexander. How are you? How are you today?
What? Sorry.
How are you?
I'm pretty fine. What about you? Thank you for
Oh,
asking.
very good, thank you. Very good. It's morning for me, and it's nice to
Morning.
be here.
Where
Yeah.
from?
So I'm in the United States. So it's
And
9 a.m. here.
what's the time now?
9 a.m.
Oh, it's so early to wake up and start
Yeah.
talking with us.
Yeah. It's early for me because I do a lot of my teaching at midnight and 11 and midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
see you like it.
yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, as other people come into the room, thought I'd show you guys what we'll be doing today. We are going to be practicing vocabulary words dealing with describing people. So let me show you the worksheet. So we'll be talking about character traits and then opposites and office personalities. And if there's time, we'll also do a guided free discussion. So, hello, Odie. How are you today?
Doing great, thank you. Doing
Excellent,
well, thank you.
excellent. Where are you from, Odie?
I come from Indonesia.
Indonesia. And I like that.
I'm drinking beer. Yeah, I like it too.
Audrey, can I ask you a question? How
Yes.
many
Yes,
language in your country?
How many what?
How many the official language in your country?
And in
Do
official
you
Indonesia?
have?
language.
Yeah.
In Indonesia, only have one official language. Only
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Only one, but do you have a lot of unofficial languages?
language. Yes, we have a lot of. This is very a lot. I think it's about more than 400. I'm not really sure.
But there's
It's
only one
hundreds.
official.
Only one official.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Alexander, just a bit of trivia. Do you know what the official language is in the United States?
Of course, sure. It's probably American English.
Nope.
Nope. You're kidding.
Really?
I am not kidding at all. The United States of America
You're
has
pulling my leg, I'm
no,
sure.
no, I'm not pulling your leg. You can check any website. It
Uh,
has no official language.
Why
oh,
is it so?
Well, I think it's because we're a country of immigrants, and English is of course, the language of commerce and the language that is used in pretty much everywhere. But English has never been stated as the official language, and which is good for because people who are from minority groups, say for example, you moved to the United States and you were part of you couldn't speak English very well and you were part of basically a Russian speaking community. if there is enough percentage of Russian speakers in that community, you can get all your services in Russian. So that you could take your driver's license, it would be in the Russian language, everything. Of course, you'd have to probably have some interpreters and stuff. So it's good for immigrants in some respects. So
from your experience, is there people who don't know English at all?
Yeah. In fact, of course, I've personally never. Yeah, I've met some people here in the. I met this one person who is he's actually an illegal alien from Mexico, but he doesn't speak hardly any English. And I also met somebody when I was traveling who lived in the States.
How does he live? How do they live?
How do they live? Well, he's Mexican, and the area I live have a lot of Mexican Americans. So he just goes to the Mexican restaurants and the Spanish speaking stores and things like that. So he's able to make it, and then he, of course, when he needs it, he'll ask for interpretation. But normally in the States, nowadays, it used to not be like this, but you can call, like if you call a call center, you'll press 1 for English and 2 for Spanish. So, and then in some communities, you might have a lot of Koreans or Chinese or whatever, and you can get services in that language. And the reason, so it's good for people who are moving to the U.S. and can't speak English very well. So, hello Israel, how are you?
Hello, teacher, and hello, everyone.
So where are you from, Israel?
I'm from Dominican Republic.
Okay, excellent. Welcome. So my name is Holly, for those of you who do not know me. I am in Idaho in the United States, where it is now 9:07 p.m., and excuse me, 9:07 a.m., and Idaho is part of the Pacific Northwest region of the U.S. That's where I was born and raised. I have been teaching English since 1994. I started in South Korea, and then I ended up in Finland, where I lived for 11 years before coming back to the U.S. I came back to the U.S. about 5.5 years ago, and the reason I came back was that I had started teaching online, and I realized that I wanted to live near my family but still teach English. So that's what happened. So that's a little about me. I've been teaching here at Verbling since the first part of September, and it's a pleasure working with all of you today. So let's go ahead and start. First of all, we are going to look at some character traits to describe people. We've got the following words. We've got arrogant, bossy, bright, careless, creative, decisive, hardworking, incompetent, loyal, productive, punctual, respectful, rude, and strict. Now, are there any words here that you guys do not know? Please ask, and I will.
Loyal, teacher. What's the meaning of loyal?
Okay, the loyal is when you, if you are a loyal person, you, how do you see? If you are loyal, you do not quit. For example, if you're loyal to your company or to your job, you do not quit your job. You are a very good person. You believe in that company. If you're loyal to your girlfriend, you will not step out on her. So to be loyal is to stick with and stay with whatever person or organization you're with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Any other words here?
Decisive, teacher.
Okay, if you are decisive, you are the type of person that makes decisions very quickly. So, very quickly. So, it's interesting watching couples. One person, like say maybe the man is very careful and he looks at things and he makes decisions very slowly, and his wife is very decisive and she hurries him up and he slows her down. But a decisive person is very, very quick. Any other words?
So I have a question. What's the
Yes.
difference between bright, smart, and clever?
Bright, smart, and clever, they are all synonyms.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What is the opposite of decisive?
Decisive, the opposite of decisive would be indecisive.
Indecisive. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're welcome. Okay. And Israel, thanks. I hadn't even thought of faithful meaning loyal. That was very good. Any other words? Any other questions? Okay. Yes?
Teacher, busy, bossy.
Okay. If you are bossy, bossy is more or less it's more or less a negative word. A bossy person is a person that tells you what to do, even if they do not have the right to. The best example I can think of is a 4-year-old child who's just recently started to talk and thinks she or he knows everything, and so they're very bossy. So, but you might have other people in your life that are bossy. Any other words? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at qualities and flaws. So basically, a quality is a positive character trait about a person. In this activity, this is what that's meaning. And a flaw means something that is negative about a person. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of these words and decide whether it's a quality or a flaw. And I am going to put a positive or negative next to the word. So, Alexander, could you choose a word and tell me whether it's a quality or a flaw?
Of course. Okay, I'll start with the first one, and it is arrogant. Or arrogant, it is flaws.
Okay, arrogant is a flaw. Okay,
Flaw,
excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. Okay. All right, and Andre, could you choose one?
Bossy, I think it is flaw.
It is a flaw, yes. To be bossy, it is a flaw. Harold, could you choose a word?
Creative is a quality.
Perfect. Creative is a quality. Okay, and Israel.
Productive quality.
Productive is a quality. Perfect. And Odie.
Respectful is quality. Quality.
Is a quality. Perfect. Alexander.
Incompetent, it is flaw.
Incompetent is a flaw. Perfect. Question for you. What is opposite of incompetent?
Clever.
Competent.
Competent. Competent,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, the opposite of incompetent is competent.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah. So now you do. Okay,
Yeah.
Andre.
Bright, it is the quality.
Bright is a quality. Okay. And Harold.
Punctual is a quality.
Okay, excellent. And Israel.
Rude is a flaw.
Is a flaw, yes. Okay, and Odie.
Loyal is quality.
Loyal is a quality, yes. And Alexander.
So I'll choose strict,
Mhm.
but from one hand it is qualities because sometimes the boss should be strict because,
Okay.
but from the other hand it's not so good. But I'm kind of
Mhm.
messed up.
Uh-huh. So it's basically both. It's a quality and a flaw depending on your point of view.
Mhm.
So like to a child, a strict parent is a flaw. Uh,
Yeah.
it's but to an adult, a strict parent that's good parenting. So that's good. Andre,
Decisive. It is
okay.
equality.
Decisive is a quality. Excellent. Right. And Harold,
Hard working is a quality.
perfect. And Israel,
Careless.
careless
A flag.
is a flaw. Yeah. Now, question for you guys: what is opposite of careless?
Careful.
Careful. If you're careful, you're not careless. Um, so let's see. What is opposite of hardworking? Anyone?
Lazy.
Lazy. So if somebody is lazy, they are definitely not hardworking. What is the opposite of rude
Polite.
Polite.
or impolite? Yeah, polite. Yeah, I'm sorry, polite. And then of course you have impolite is another meaning of rude. What is the opposite of respectful?
Impolite.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful. But also opposite could be impolite as well. Exactly. What is opposite of punctual?
Impunctual.
No. Somebody who is basically uh, late. I don't think unpunctual. I don't think we would say that. We don't say those words that way. How about productive?
Unproductive.
Unproductive. Unproductive. This is one of the few. This is one of the few words with these prefixes that with a P that is not IM. Most of words that start with P are IM, like IMP, impolite, improper. Most of the time when you have these prefixes, it is IM, but this is one of the few. It's unproductive. See, incompetent. Opposite of what is opposite of arrogant? I can't even think of that one. Anybody have an idea what the
Humble.
opposite? What?
Humble.
Humble. Yes, that was the word that was on. I was thinking too. Humble. Okay, and opposite of bossy. Any idea? This one's more difficult. The word I can think of is passive. If you're not bossy, you're probably passive. You're sitting back and waiting for people to tell you what to do. So, and then bright, opposite of bright would probably be stupid or yeah. So, okay, let's go on. What I'd like you guys to do before we go to this next activity is think of a colleague that you work with, and could you describe that person using some of these words? Okay, let's start with Harold. Can you describe one of your colleagues using one of these words?
I will describe a friend from my university.
Uh-huh.
So I think he is bright, he is creative, he make good decisions, so he is decisive,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes he thinks that he knows everything, so I think that he's arrogant,
Mhm.
and sometimes maybe is rude.
Sometimes, and he can be rude. He has a potential to be rude. Okay. And do you see him being successful in his future?
Yeah, I think that he will be a successful person because he's right.
Mhm.
So maybe in
Awesome.
the future, but he has to change some habits and behaviors
Mhm.
because he's arrogant. So I think
Mhm.
that he could be a successful person.
Yeah. Yeah. If he's too arrogant, he just needs to go to the States. That's all. I'm joking. So, Andre, how about one of your colleagues?
Uh, I think most of my colleagues are loyal
Mhm.
and bright.
Loyal and
And
bright.
yes, and one I can recall who is arrogant. I don't like him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Um, and and do is he disliked pretty much throughout the entire company?
He is rather lonely. Nobody
Uh-huh.
wanna keep in touch with him.
Mhm. Because he is arrogant.
Yes.
Okay. That's too bad for him. Does he understand? Does he realize that?
I don't think so.
Yeah. That's too bad. Um,
Maybe he understands it sometimes because his behavior changes
uh-huh.
sometimes.
So sometimes he becomes fairly humble.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
in the end, dark side sucks him in.
Mhm. The dark side sucks him in. That's great. It's, you are so funny, Andre. So, Israel, could you tell us about one of your colleagues and describe him or her?
Okay, I have a coworker that
Uh-huh.
she is very respectful
Mhm.
and hardworking because she's never late. She's always on time at work
Mhm. Mhm.
and is productive too.
And she's productive. She or he?
She,
She's productive. Okay. Do you see her being successful in your company?
yes,
Mhm. Okay.
she
Excellent.
is very bright and smart.
Mhm. Awesome. All right. And Odie, can you tell us about one of your colleagues?
One of my coworker is very creative, and she is also a hardworking uh, girl, and
Mhm.
but she's very arrogant, and
Mhm.
I think that's the only minus, the only how do I say that? Minus of her,
So
or
it's one of her only flaws
oh
that you
yeah,
could say.
this
Yeah.
is that's the only one her flaw.
Okay. So in this one, you would say she is a hardworking girl. Um.
Yes.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. And Alexander, could you tell us about one of your colleagues?
Um, I'm not working right now, but I can describe my close friend with
Mhm.
whom I get on pretty well. So, what can I say about him? That he's kind of rude because he's using a lot of bad words in his in his daily speech, and it can make him um, being rude, but it's
Mhm.
not like that. He's pretty bright and smart, and I think actually he's very productive because he has his own magazine shop, his own shop, and he's trying um, do the bad thing with that, to develop his shop. And from that, but from that side, he's very how to say, um, he's very mm, he's very bright, and I respect him for that.
Hmm. Now, at first you said that he was rude. Does he realize that his language comes, the way he speaks and the rude words he says, comes across as rude?
You know, how to say, he thinks it's not so bad,
Hmm.
and but sometimes he's thinking about it, and once we've gone through with them about the situation, and nothing changed.
Okay. So you've talked to him and stuff like that. Okay. All right. All right, let's describe each person below using the adjectives above. Some of the workers can be described with 2 adjectives. So Odie, can you read number 1 and tell us the adjectives that this lady would be?
Okay. Clara is always at her desk when I arrive. She is never late for work. She is a punctual.
She's punctual. Okay. Question for you, Odie. In Indonesia, is it similar to other countries, like, for example, Hong Kong, where the workers usually try to arrive before the boss and they leave after the boss?
Yes, but only for come before the boss, and we we leave when the time has over.
Okay.
Be-
Okay.
mm,
Yeah, and why do they come before the boss? Is it just
um, because usually in Indonesia the boss is always late.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned about this actually. When I was teaching in Finland, I was teaching every Friday morning at a bank, and I was usually the first one there standing at the door, and the director would come in and he would unlock the door for me, and we got to talking one day, and he had lived a couple years in Hong Kong, and he'd always get to the office at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and his employees would be getting there before him. And he started to feel bad, and so he told them, do not come before me, please. I am finished. so so it was funny. um, all right, is it like that in any of the rest of your countries? Do you try to come before the boss and leave after the boss? It, okay, I guess nobody else has heard about this, so that's a Asian quality. Okay, next one, number 2. Alexander, could you read this one?
Yes, sure. Zara is always very polite with the company's visitor, but she makes lots of mistakes in her mails.
Okay, so very polite with the company's visitors, but she makes lots of mistakes in her emails. So you need to actually,
Emails.
yeah, you need to stress that. Otherwise we'll just think of traditional mail.
Hmm.
Okay, so what words would describe her?
She's probably um, careless.
Okay, careless is one word. Is there another word that could describe her?
Maybe she's um, let's see.
How about,
As it has already said, polite. She's polite.
okay, polite, yeah, polite isn't there, so a polite would work, and the other word for polite would be respectful.
Respectful.
Respectful. Okay.
Incompetent.
What, competent or
Yeah,
incompetent?
because she makes lots of mistakes.
Yeah, so she would be incompetent if she made lots of mistakes. So, incompetent. All right. Number 3, Israel. Can you do that one?
A dude is able to do more work than the rest of the staff in the same amount of time. Uh, he's hardworking,
Uh-huh. Okay, that would be one. Any others?
productive,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking is productive. To fit it in when I use capital letters. Productive. Working and productive. Perfect. Okay. And Andre, what could you read number 4?
Tony would never quit his current job. His company is like his family. He's always ready to work overtime and even on weekends.
Okay, and how would you describe Tony?
He is loyal and hardworking.
Loyal and hardworking. Okay, excellent. And Harold, could you read number 5?
Michelle never hesitates when she has to make an important decision. So she's decisive.
Perfect. Okay, and next, Odie, could you do number 6?
Brian likes to give orders to everybody in the office. He also thinks he's better than everybody else. Arrogant,
Uh-huh. Arrogant, and there's another one too.
bossy.
Bossy, yes. Arrogant and bossy. So giving orders to everybody, even if he's not supposed to. Okay, and Alexander, number 7.
Okay? Paul works hard, but he doesn't have the skills necessary to do his job properly. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that case, he would be probably um, incompetent, the first one, uh, uncreative, no?
No, he's not. That wouldn't have anything to do with it. But there is another word though for it. Maybe.
Hardworking, yeah.
Yeah. So he's hardworking, but he's unfortunately. I'd have a hard time saying that a person is totally incompetent. What I would prefer to say, and I guess this is just I don't know if it's better, but if somebody is incompetent in a specific job, it probably means it is not the right job fit. So if you don't fit well in the job, then you might come across like you're incompetent, but you're probably not. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, let's match the adjectives on the left with their opposites on the right. So, Andre, could you choose one of these words and match them?
Okay, so let's start with first. Hardworking. Yeah.
Yes. What is opposite?
Okay, hardworking, lazy.
Lazy. Exactly. Hardworking and lazy. Okay, and Israel, can you choose one of these words?
arrogant, uh, modest,
Modest, yes. D. Okay. And 2. Okay, and Harold.
Rude, polite.
Rude and polite. Perfect. Okay, and Odie.
Mm, what is the meaning of lenient?
Lenient.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're lenient, you don't expect people to follow the rules as closely as somebody who is not lenient.
Oh, okay. Mm,
I don't want to give the answer away, so it's more vague.
decisive.
Can you make some example about this word, because I
Oh,
kind of
for
don't
lenient.
understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, there are. Let's see. When I was growing up, my dad was really lenient, and he never made me follow the rules. Where my mom, she always did. Or there are two bosses. One is really lenient, and he doesn't care if his employees take a longer lunch. Where the other one will be very angry if you are late coming back from lunch. So
Yep.
that is.
Okay, it makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I would use this word, it'd make it easier. So I didn't want to though.
Strict.
Strict. Yeah. So if somebody is strict, the opposite of strict is lenient. So 7. Okay. Where were we at? Odie?
Yeah. Uh,
Can,
decisive, slow.
no, it's not slow.
Productive. I mean, is it?
Um,
Are working. Proposing.
so uh,
Pro
productive and
slow.
slow. Yes. Oops. Productive and slow. Yeah, because somebody who is productive is usually very fast at what they do. Okay, and Alexander, can you choose a word?
Outgoing and hesitant.
Okay, yes. Outgoing and hesitant, no.
Um,
So some of these words are new, I think.
what does the reserved mean?
Reserved is the opposite of outgoing. So, but if a person is reserved, they're very careful about what they share about themselves.
Hmm.
Um, so that would be what it would be.
Decisive.
So, uh, where a person who's outgoing will share themselves a lot quicker. Okay, then we have careless and decisive, and here we have hesitant and thorough. So a decisive person makes decisions very, very quickly. Yeah, Zakarla, the link is above here already. The decisive person makes a decision very, very quickly, and a careless person is not always is not always complete in what they do. So, Andre, can you match one of these?
Decisive and hesitant.
Yeah. So if you're decisive, you opposite of that is hesitant. You're hesitant to make a decision. You're not sure you want to make a decision. Okay. And then the opposite of careless, then careful is one, but another word that is good is thorough. So if you are thorough, you are you if you are a thorough person, you are always making sure everything is perfect. So Okay. Any questions about these words? No
No.
questions? No questions, okay. Okay, let's, in pairs, think about these people for a minute. What character features should or shouldn't they have in particular? Use any of the words from page 1. So how about we have Alexander, you choose a boss. Andre, you choose a secretary. Harold, you choose a salesman. And Oda, you choose an accountant. So think about that job, and let's just decide which of these character traits this person should have. So whoever wants to go first.
I can.
Okay.
So, what about boss? In my opinion, a boss must be strict, as I've already said. So, but on the one hand, he or she, it doesn't matter, must be polite at first, because if you're impolite, your colleagues will be very strict out every time when you're speaking with them, and and I think it won't work on the at the job. What else? A boss, I don't know about hardworking. Sometimes, yes, he must be hardworking, because maybe it will affect on your on your around, how to say, surround or around
Surroundings. Affect your
surround.
environment. Surroundings.
Yes, about on your surroundings, and if your colleagues will see that, they will do much better, much productive things, and they will try to be as hardworking as their boss.
Mm-hmm.
So what else? The the boss shouldn't be lazy. I think it is very necessary, and if your boss is lazy, in that case, he tries to put all the job on his surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't work, I think. So,
Yeah.
mm, so I've said a lot of thank you.
Okay. Okay. And Alexander, that was very good. Question for you: have you ever worked for a lazy boss?
Honestly, no, but I've heard some stories from my friends about lazy
Mm-hmm.
boss, and it was a very they they weren't um, affected by that, and they were always thinking about let's say quit from the job.
Oh, because they were always wanting to leave because
Yeah,
they probably did not respect him or her.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Um, Andre, you got a secretary, right?
Right.
Okay. Talk to
And
us.
a secretary, I think she or he, mostly it is she, her, I think. Um, she has to be punctual because she has to do things on time,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe sometimes she could be creative when she has to do some things like organization, a
Mm-hmm.
party or a meeting. Maybe she could do something more than usual things,
Mm-hmm.
and she has to be bright, so her boss wouldn't tell her to do the same thing a lot of times, and she has to be respectful. So everybody would like to see her, like she is always welcoming.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. And Harold.
Well, a salesman must be productive because they earn money depending on they they depending on the commission. So they
Mm-hmm.
have to sell a lot of if they want to get good money. They have to be creative. They have to know how to sell things to the person, to the clients.
Mm-hmm.
And they must be outgoing because they have to make contact with the clients.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? And that's it.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Harold. And then Odie, what was your person?
Um, an accountant.
An accountant. Okay. And what should an accountant be?
I think it has to be a bright person, especially in accounting,
Yes.
and it is important for an accountant to be thorough with their job.
Very important. Huh?
And then, what else? I think that's the two is very important, and every employers, every employers, even though he is accountant or a secretary or salesman, it is important to be punctual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, because if you're not punctual, it hurts the entire organization in many areas. All right. So bright, thorough, punctual, and also, in my opinion,
Yeah.
an accountant should also be respectful. Respectful
Yeah.
of, because if they're not, they can get pretty rude and arrogant.
Yes.
So, all right. Let's go on. Let's study the underlined expressions below, and in pairs, let's try to work out what they mean. So we have what I'm going to do is read these to you guys, and then we will match the underlined expressions to these. So A is not honest or able to depend on. B, not easy to have good relations with. C, somebody who thinks he or she is an expert on everything. D, someone who is early. E, stay calm. F, trying to please someone who is in authority in order to get the person's approval. And G, will become successful. And hello, Sajad. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So where are you from?
Pakistan.
Pakistan. Awesome. Welcome. All right. So we're going to read through this and see if we can match these idioms or phrases to the definitions down here. So let's start with Alexander. Could you read number 1?
John is able to keep a cool head during stressful situations.
So to keep a cool head, anyone know what that means?
Stay calm.
Stay calm, exactly. How about you, Alexander? Are you able to keep a cool head during stressful situations?
I'm trying to do that, but not every time it works.
Okay, so just sometimes, yeah. Yeah, for me it depends. Yeah, it depends on if I'm the
It
leader.
depends on the situation that you have been.
Exactly. There's so many variables with that question. Yeah. All right, Andre, could you read the next one?
Andre is an early bird. By the time everyone arrives at work, she is already at her computer. Someone who is early.
Someone who is early, yeah. And a lot of times an early bird will be described not just as someone who is early, but somebody who gets up early in the morning, as opposed to a night owl, which is somebody who sleeps in late. Okay. So, Andre, are you an early bird?
No, I am not an early bird. I love to sleep like late.
Late.
But in my company there is one guy who is always in the office when I come there. So I don't know how he. Whenever I try to come, he was there. I just wonder maybe he's living there.
Okay. All right. All right. Number 3, Harold, could you read that one?
Charlie is very difficult to get along with. He doesn't make many friends in the office. So B. Not easy to have good relations with.
Perfect. Okay. And do you have anybody in your office, actually you're in school, so anybody at school that's like that?
Well, I think that in every school there are person that aren't very good friends.
Yeah,
So
because they don't have good social skills for one reason or another. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Number 4, Odie, can you read that one?
Sally got another promotion. She has a bright future. She will become successful.
Yes, she will become successful. So how about you? Do you have a bright future, Odie?
Yes, I think in my area, it will become a bright, successful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Excellent. Sajad, could you read number 5?
Don't give Leoto any more responsibility. He can't be trusted. Is not honest or able to depend on.
Perfect. So, do you have anybody in your company that is like that? That you guys cannot trust him?
Yes, there are a lot of people which I can't trust on them. Don't want them to do my job because I know them. They are
Okay.
not honest.
So there's, instead of trust on them, you can't trust them. So there's no preposition after that. So trust them. Okay. All right. Number 6, Harold, could you read that one?
okay, Takeshi is such a know-it-all. The best thing to do is just agree with him. And is the letter C.
Letter
Somebody
C.
who thinks she is an expert on everything.
Okay. Excellent. All right. And then we have the final one, number 7, Alexander.
Okay, Amanda is always talking up to the boss. She thinks she will get a promotion that way, trying to please someone who is in authority in order to get personal approval.
Okay, so question for you, Alexander. Do you have people in your office that suck up to the boss? And if so, how do they do it?
I think that people like that there is in every office or companies. So it's just the way they like. Maybe I think maybe that it's just their character. Maybe they want to get a easy promotion compared to others. I think that is very tricky people, but I don't like them.
Okay. Yeah. So, and Andre, a question for you. Do you have anybody in your office that is a know-it-all? And if so, how do you guys respond to that person?
Not at all.
A know-it-all. It's from number
Not at all.
6.
At this workplace, we don't have such a people,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like this fact. But we used to have, and the person I used to have that colleague at another company, and he was irritating
Mm-hmm.
because whenever anybody said, he didn't listen. He always uh, shared his opinion, even it was wrong.
Okay. Yeah. And then because of that, nobody listened to him when he was right, probably. So
Yeah.
okay. Harold, question for you. Do you consider yourself an early bird?
Well, in this moment, I consider that I am a night owl
Uh-huh.
because I go to bed at 1 a.m. and sometimes I am an early bird because I wake up at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the last night I went to the bed late.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. And so so you can be both depending on the situation.
yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, I totally get that. So I can be as well, but I think I'm a natural night owl. If I have nothing going on, I will stay up late. So, Odie, how about you? See, you already okay, this is one. Are you able to keep a cool head during stressful situations?
Yes, it is important for us to control our emotion,
Uh-huh.
especially our work.
Uh-huh. What
Uh,
happens in your organization if somebody is unable to keep a cool head?
the project's gonna very difficult because the project itself it has a lot of tension. So if there is someone cannot keep their head
Mm-hmm.
cool, it will be very another problems
Yeah.
in this project.
Yeah. So if somebody can't keep a cool head instead of a head cool. So keep a cool head, it would be very difficult. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's look at this talking point right here. Andre, in your opinion, what character traits are needed to succeed in your work?
You have to be bright, I
Mm-hmm.
think, in my specialization, and you have to be patient at the same time because I always work in team,
Mm-hmm.
and people who work in team have to learn how to do it because it is not an easy thing because all the people are different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Harold, how about in your field or at your school? What character traits are needed to succeed at your university?
Uh, this person must be bright, interested, and responsible.
Okay. When you say interested,
Interested on study, interested on get a good job.
uh-huh. Okay. So they're wanting to, they're interested in succeeding and so forth. Okay. Excellent. And Alexander, how about in your field, in your job? What character traits are needed?
Yes, I got it. So I would say that in my field, there is a lot of uh, traits, character traits, and um, uh, next that I have to. But the most important, um, quality for me is to have a bright head and just to understand what you are doing, not do this for the money. Do it for your soul. Like I have to work to feed myself, and you know.
Yeah, do it for your soul, or do it for another word that this might be an interesting word for you. It's self-actualization.
Whoa! Can you write it down?
Yeah. That is that word. If you know, if I don't know if you know this, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, are you familiar with this?
Nope.
Okay, I just Google it. Basically, what it's the main premise of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is that usually it's kind of a, let's see if I can find a chart for that. Basically, everybody has specific needs, and until the initial needs are met, you cannot move up the chain. So the first thing we need are like food and clothing, and then we go from there. And the top on this hierarchy of needs is called self-actualization. Let me show you. Yeah. And that's like your self-esteem and things like that, like right here. So first we have physical, psychological, we have safety, we need love and belonging, esteem. So you need this first, physiological, like food and clothing. Then you need to feel safe. Then you need to feel loved, and then esteem, and then the final one is self-actualization. So anybody that's taken liberal arts courses might get I don't know if they still teach that actually at universities. It's been a long time for me. So anyway, looks like I've run out of time. Yes, Andre?
It was changed. On the top should be the internet.
Yes, that's right. It's changed. We need the internet and Wi-Fi at the very top. So yeah. All right. So everyone, thank you very much for your participation. I hope you learned some new words that you were able to put in your active vocabulary, and it's been a pleasure working with you today. And see you in another class sometime. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Sure, bye.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.